It is really important for me to cultivate good feelings like joy, happiness, gratitude, etc. So, my mindset routine is a great way to tap into those feelings on purpose, and it's a reminder that I can do that on purpose. You're listening to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. I'm your host, Jill Perrick, a business and mindset coach who specializes in imposter syndrome. If you feel like you're not as smart, capable, or worthy as you actually are, and that someone is going to find you out, then you've come to the right place. I went from being a struggling government worker, working my coaching business on the side, but feeling unworthy and burnt out, to making multiple six figures helping women overcome imposter syndrome so they too can sign clients, make bank, and have the business or career of their dreams. I am nothing special. I have a stuttering disability, ADHD, and I struggle with anxiety and depression. So if I can learn how to feel good enough and overcome my inner imposter, then so can you. Let's dig in. Hello, my friends. Welcome back to the pod. I'm so happy to have you here, and I hope that your 2023 is going swimmingly. I am so excited for this episode because as a mindset coach, I know firsthand how important mindset routines and rituals are. My mindset routine is single-handedly responsible for helping me generate over $86,000 in the last 6 months. Like, what? That's insanity. But it's true. And before we jump into this episode, though, I need to tell you that I have very limited spots inside of my one-to-one coaching program, Worthy and Wealthy. This is the only way to work with me for the foreseeable future, and my clients are getting amazing results. They are shedding decades worth of shame. They are stepping into their highest selves. They are signing 4-figure clients like nobody's business. They are projecting to hit 6 figures in 2023. And this is all a direct result of their hard work, showing up for themselves, and doing the work in our coaching together. If you work with me in my one-to-one coaching program, Worthy and Wealthy, you get an on-demand curriculum at your fingertips with trainings and videos that will help you show up consistently, sell confidently, and sign clients. We meet weekly for one-to-one coaching calls, and you get access to me in Voxer. And finally, you get access to my monthly workshops and group calls that I'm doing exclusively for my one-to-one coaching clients. It is the best time to get full support in your business so you can be your best self and sign clients. Book a sales call at the link in my show notes. The investment is $8,500, but you save $222 if you pay in full. There is also a payment plan. I love you, and go apply right now. Now, let's get into mindset routines that make you rich. I started doing a mindset routine when I was working my full-time job in 2019, the year after I started my business. I have always been a roll out of bed and get ready at the last possible second kind of gal. I worked at 7:30 a.m. at my full-time job, and I only worked like 5 minutes away so I could sleep in until 7 and still get to work on time. But when I started my business, I realized quickly that my mindset needed work. So I started getting up at 6:30, having a glass of water, and journaling. And then when the pandemic hit in 2020, I was working from home, and I had way more time to get up and do my morning routine before starting my workday. I also was learning about manifesting and writing out my goals, and I started meditating at this time too. And for those of you who are your Coach Jill diehards, you'll know that 2020 is the year that my business, quote unquote, blew up. I made $2,000 in March 2020, and then from then on, my income shot up to $8K, $10K, $12K, $20K, and I've stabilized high 4-figure and 5-figure months with fluctuations here and there. And here's why I relate so much of my success to my mindset routine. First of all, I'm so much more proactive if I spend time with myself at any point during the day. I know you guys are busy bees, so your mindset routine can truly be any time of the day. I just happen to do it in the morning. So yes, I am much more proactive instead of reactive. I am also putting my goals and what I'm working towards, as well as the things that I'm grateful for, top of mind. Your reticular activating system is a filter in your brain that prioritizes important information, usually things that are at the forefront of your mind. So constantly checking in with your goals and your highest self, even if it's just for a couple minutes a day, shows your brain that these things are important, which means that you're subconsciously working towards them. I'm also processing and dealing with any emotions or problems that I'm currently having in real time. This is huge for me as someone with ADHD. When I experience emotion, it can be really overwhelming, so my default for a long time was to shove down my emotions because it was too hard to deal with them when they came up. But just allowing myself to acknowledge things that are bothering me by journaling them out is so helpful. And it feels like I'm not always carrying my problems or grievances around with me because I am just able to unload them into my journal, which is a way to process your emotions due to the catharticness of writing them out. Finally, my mindset routine is such a good way to shift into higher vibrational feelings. As an emotional mess having ADHD and often waking up miserable as fuck, it is really important for me to cultivate good feelings like joy, happiness, gratitude, etc. So, my mindset routine is a great way to tap into those feelings on purpose, and it's a reminder that I can do that on purpose. Because we often believe that our feelings are thrust upon us and we don't have any say in the matter, and it can really feel like that when you struggle with mental health issues or are a neurodivergent person. And while we can't always control an emotion being thrust upon us, we can control how we respond to that emotion and what we make it mean. So I can almost hear y'all saying, okay, cool, Jill, but what do you actually do during your mindset routine? It has really changed over the years, but here is what I do currently. So first, I put abundance beats or solfeggio sounds in my ears, which are on YouTube, and they're basically just music with affirmations underneath it. So you can type in abundance beats on YouTube and you'll find plenty. I then journal, which usually just looks like brain dumping my current thoughts and feelings. It will naturally turn into me manifesting, which is just me writing out my goals in the present tense as if they've already happened. I also have been trying out this trick where I write I remember when, and I detail what's happening right now as if it's in the past, and what I am wanting to happen has already come to fruition. So for example, I wanted a client to pay in full back in January. So I wrote, I remember when I was waiting for a client to apply and pay in full. And literally less than 3 days later, it happened, and it was so fucking cool. So yes, I will brain dump, and then it'll naturally turn into me writing about my goals and what I'm focused on achieving. And here is a huge tip for you guys. You have to stop judging your journaling. You have to just allow it to be whatever it is. No one is going to see it except for you. You don't have to follow any rules or templates. Give yourself the space to just write whatever the fuck you want, even if it's just a couple lines, even if you're raging mad at someone and you want to spill out all your anger. Journaling has to be a judgment-free zone for you to do it effectively. Just trust me on this. It will make it so much easier for you to journal. The next thing I do is listen to my self-voiced affirmations. And this has been my moneymaker, guys, over the past couple of months. At the time of this recording, like I said at the beginning of this episode, I've made over $86,000 and probably even more when you're listening to this. And everything changed when I started implementing this back into my routine, and it's so fucking easy to do. So firstly, you're going to create a document where you write affirmations and thoughts that you want to embody, and you're going to categorize them as well. So for example, you guys know that I have a stuttering disability, so I have speech affirmations as a category. I wrote things like, I speak normally, I take my time when I speak, I breathe easily as I speak, I don't feel embarrassed or ashamed of my stutter, etc. And once you have a bunch of affirmations that you're happy with and they're all categorized, you're going to go over to your voice memos app and you're simply going to record yourself saying each affirmation. Each category is going to be a different voice memo. So I have speech affirmations as one, affirmations for money, inner child affirmations. You get the gist. In the Voice Memos app, you can then name each voice memo anything you want, and you can put them all into their own folder inside of the Voice Memos app. I listen to them every single day, and I sometimes do my EFT tapping as I'm listening to them, which means I'll just tap on the different points as I'm listening. Make sure between each affirmation you leave time for you to repeat the affirmation out loud if that helps you embed it into your subconscious even more. And this is seriously so powerful for a number of reasons. Firstly, your own voice is an authority to the subconscious mind. Your brain is conditioned to pay attention to your voice, just like how you're conditioned to respond to your name even in a loud and crowded room. And secondly, if you're an overthinker with a constant inner dialogue, your brain will start playing your chosen affirmations and thoughts on repeat in your head because it's not only in your voice, but you're also listening to them every single day. The repetition of listening to them every day is like when my clients say to me, I feel like I have you in my head answering my questions, right? Like I hear my voice and I recall the affirmations and thoughts that I am intentionally embedding into my brain. What you repeatedly do and believe, you become. And I'm not kidding when I say that this has changed the game for my income over the past 6 months. If you do anything, record your affirmations in your voice and listen to them every day. It will change your goddamn life. The next thing I do is I'll reset my vagus nerve, which is the largest nerve in the body and is responsible for the state of our nervous systems. There are a number of ways you can do this, so you can look up the best and most efficient way for you. I might also do some breath work, but essentially I do something that is calming and soothing for my nervous system because I am a naturally anxious person, and tending to our bodies is just as important as tending to our minds. I also make sure that I drink my water and take my anti-anxiety medication, which are key components of taking care of myself. Make sure you are hydrated and take care of your health and your mental health because no mindset routine can replace those things. And lastly, I do some type of meditation, or I do EFT tapping on a specific problem or goal or limiting belief, or I'll do a hypnosis, whatever I am feeling like that day. Sometimes I really only have time for my affirmations. Sometimes I have loads of time for everything, but I always make sure that on most days I do some kind of mindset routine or ritual because it's just one way that I keep promises to myself and how I stay consistent. I also heavily associate my mindset routine to improving myself and improving my business. I have a whole module on creating your money-making mindset ritual and your worthy and wealthy identity inside of my one-to-one coaching program, Worthy and Wealthy. Also, on some of our coaching calls, we prioritize regulating your nervous system and creating safety with money, opening you up to receive, and confidence to step into your highest self through visualizations, through breath work, and freeing you from deeply rooted beliefs that are holding you back from selling confidently and signing clients. Book a sales call to work with me and become worthy and wealthy in 2023. The link is in my show notes. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all next week. Thanks for listening to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. Head to the show notes to find out how you can take this work deeper with me in one-to-one coaching or in the From Imposter to Empowered group program. In the show notes, you'll also find a free 3-day challenge to start the process of overcoming your inner imposter. And once you're done with all of that, screenshot this episode and share it on Instagram, tagging me at your coach Jill so we can connect. See you next time.